Here we go. We are live. So, hi guys, it's me, your favorite person.
Hello, hello.
This is Prentiss, and this is Nisha, and we are
Hi
here to talk.
guys.
We are here to talk about a Prentiss case. But first, we're going to get to know each other a little bit. So, Nisha, where are you from?
I'm from Texas.
You have the cutest fucking accent I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you.
That's why my first question was, where are you from? Because yeah, I love accents. I think they're great.
Me
Hey,
too. I'm an
Jonathan.
accent person.
So, how did you meet Prentiss?
Through one of my mutuals online. I was actually doing a live on my Instagram one day, and I was having like a bad day, and someone just introduced me to Prentice, and he was just kind of like a light. And then I began to learn a little bit about his story, and he shared that with me, and we were friends ever since.
That is awesome. He is a light, isn't he? Especially for
Yeah.
where he's at, what he's been going through for the past 34 years.
Uh
Um,
huh.
to
And
remain,
33.
oh, sorry, my bad,
It's
34
okay.
years. Um,
It's
so
okay.
it's really it's hard to find people who have gone through what he's going through,
Yes.
who stay positive and stay kind and stay
Mhm.
concerned about others.
Yeah.
Did that shock you when you found out about his what was going on with him?
Yeah. I actually cried one day because I was like, I have really gotten to know him on a personal level, and to just see what kind of heart he has. He's always sharing, giving, inspiring others. And then, when you look at his life and you see the situation that he's in, it just does something to your heart.
It does. It really does.
Yeah,
And I gotta say, I'm a huge supporter of him. I think he's a beautiful person, and
he is.
what has happened to him is a serious injustice. He didn't. Yeah, I think so. Francis, you want to introduce yourself and kind of tell everybody what happened the day before you were arrested.
Okay. Hello everybody. My name is Prentiss. Out of Paris, California. Um, a little bit background on history on me. I was born and raised in Me Valley, California. Um, my grandma was my physician. I was born at home, baby. Um, I was raised in a very abusive home with my father. He used to beat my mom all the way to the age of 14. At the age of 14, it was just too much. He was like a few punches away from actually killing her. So me and my mom, we fought hard. Actually, my mom used to leave at night because she was a nurse, and she used to show us where protection is at. So at the age of 14, I actually like grabbed a weapon that my mom told us like this is our protection, and pointed at my father and said, "Hey man, you got to go." And he left that day, and I never seen my father again after that day. And I told him when he left, I would never forgive him until my mom, he apologized to my mom. So from 14 years old, I hit the streets, jumped out of school, and life began. Um, I got to selling drugs, got to hang around gang affiliated people, um, just doing what I had to do to make sure funding was coming home to my mom and my family to make sure we stay stable. And the more and more I was out in the streets, the more and more, life seemed as normal as possible to me. And then I got to meeting childhood friends, and we all got to hanging out, and it, it was just something felt like family, the family I never had. You know what I mean? So as I got older, the situation came about. My friends went out. Um, they called me and said, "Hey, look, just go to a party. Let's go hang out with the ladies. Do our thing, and we'll pick you up." Well, unknown to me, in that vehicle that they came and picked me up in, they had just did a robbery earlier that day. And in that robbery, somebody got killed. Not knowing to me, they picked me up in a vehicle that has murder attached to it. And as we rode around in this car, no one spoke about this murder or even the robbery aspect of it. So when we got pulled over and arrested, we all got handcuffed, put us in jail. And when we got charged, we all got charged for felony murder. And when we got charged for felony murder, I was like, oh my goodness. My mom, everybody was like, well, what's going on? How did you get in this situation? And I'm telling them, like, I ain't had nothing to do with this. And as time went on, we got arraigned. They gave us an attorneys. The other two, friends of mine, they had paid attorneys. They gave me a public defender. And as we got bound over there to Superior Court, charged with felony murder, I was in shock. I didn't know how to respond, didn't know what to do or how to do it because I didn't know nothing about the law. And the attorney that they gave me was only 2 years into practice and didn't know that at the time. So as we started fighting, their attorneys separated all of our cases. So each one of us went to trial separately. The first person went to trial. He got acquitted of the murder, and he got 5 years for a robbery. The second person took a deal for voluntary manslaughter with a gun in the robbery and said somebody else was the principal. I went to trial. The jury came back, found me not guilty of a weapon. The judge was never instructed the jury on the introduction of felony murder, which provided aiding and abetting, so they couldn't deliberate on that. There was no ballistic tests or anything done to prove that the weapon was in my possession. There was no one present at the time that the bullet had come out to match the bullet with the weapon. The jury that they gave me was 6 members of the jury was victims or have been known someone to be a victim of a robbery. And see, it was just so much. So when they found me guilty, the jury kept coming back asking, like, how do we put this person as the killer when we can't even deliberate if he's the actual shooter? The DA came back and told the jury, well, to find him, you don't need to find him guilty of a gun to find him guilty of murder. All you got to do is prove that a robbery happened and the murder attaches itself to the robbery with no defense. 30 minutes later, the jury came back and found me guilty for felony murder and gave me life without the possibility of parole plus 9 years.
That is just insanity. That is pure insanity. So I'm going to backtrack you a little bit. So the night that your friend said, hey, let's hang out, let's go to a party, let's go have fun. So they had already committed this murder when they picked you up, correct?
Yes.
So when they arrested you, where were you? Were you with them in the vehicle still, or were you at home?
Well, when they arrested me, no, I wasn't in the vehicle. They had actually came and got me later on because one of the individuals in the car was saying he was with us. So they actually came and got me later.
Yeah, after the murder.
Yeah, after the murder.
Yeah. But when the police picked you up, where were you at when you got arrested? When you got
Oh yeah, I was in the vehicle at the time that
so they pulled over the vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the reason for them to pull over the vehicle?
I think they said speeding.
Okay. Now at this time, did you know what they had done?
No. I had no
When
knowledge.
did you find out what they had done?
When we actually got arrested and the officers and the detectives, everybody was asking us questions about what was going on, what we knew. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Okay. Was there a person who was present during the murder who admitted that you weren't even there at any point in time?
Yes, there was a guy named Herman Davis admitted, but he recently passed away.
So was that during questioning or was that during trial? When did he say, "Hey, man, Prentiss wasn't even there"?
He always spoke about it as being me not being in there, but the guy named Willie Reed, when he took a deal for voluntary manslaughter, he pretty much said somebody was the principal, but he didn't say it was me. So, um, my greater understanding of admission to voluntary manslaughter is as if you're admitting to the actual crime,
Mhm.
but that information was never brought over to my court to tell them that he has admitted to involuntary manslaughter.
Okay, so I have been trying for, oh my God, 6 months now to get your the video of your interrogation. Your interrogation got quite intense, did it not?
Yeah,
To the point where you just wanted it to stop.
right.
At any point in time, did you feel coerced to make a false statement against yourself?
Yeah,
Did you make a false statement against yourself?
yeah.
What did they tell you to get you to do that?
They told me that my mom was sick at the time. They told me, I'm gonna make this situation bad, worse on my mom, and I can possibly hurt her, you know, and make her sicker, and um, we'll let you go if you just tell us what we want to know, and stuff like that. And so you can go home tonight if you just tell us what we need to know or what we want to know, and everything just went bad, curve left from there. I'm assuming, these people, based on I was actually telling them I didn't do anything, they just started pressing and pressing and pressing harder and harder, and just went left. I was like, okay, look, this is what it is, and didn't know what was going to be the outcome of it.
Now, at this time, you were only 18 years old, correct?
Yes.
So, had you ever been in trouble with the law before this?
No. This is my
Never
first
been
time ever.
arrested or anything. So, you were scared out of your fucking mind, and they were telling you that you just murdered somebody.
Yes.
Okay, so my good friend John Pensacola has a question, a really good question actually. Did they use the accessory after the fact because of the murder?
I don't believe they used the accessory after the fact. They actually went after me as being the actual killer.
Yeah, they pinned you for killing him,
Yeah.
even though they never did do ballistics testing on his hands or on his clothing or on his face or anything like that.
No.
Um, did they ever do it on anybody?
No.
Yeah, so they never did this on any. They fucked this investigation up from the get go. Um,
They even when the autopsy report came in, they said that the entry wound of the victim, it went in from the, I guess, the number 10 rib, which is the lower part where your waistline, and it went in on the right side and ended on the left side between the number 7 and 8th rib. So that's in an upwards position. And if the way the crime happened, they said that the guy went to the side of the car window and pointed a rifle into the car. And that's in a downwards position. But that was never brought to my trial because my attorney never brought it in as being a significant situation where how did a person get shot from within the car when the charges of it saying that the person got shot from outside the car.
that is just insane, absolutely insane. So I want to talk a little bit about the DA. So we already know the cops are dirty, and they forced you into a confession, making you think that you'd be able to at least be with your mom. You know, you wouldn't be staying in jail for very long
Mm-hmm.
because, well, they're manipulative sons of bitches, and they are abusive, and they are there to fuck with your mind until they get what they want out of you, even though they already knew that you had nothing to do with it. They
Right.
didn't take proper steps to check you for gun residue. They didn't check. I mean, did they even check the weapon for fingerprints? For fuck's sakes!
No.
I mean, this shit is just crazy to me. absolutely crazy to me. So they knew that you had nothing to do with it. You had one of the people in the vehicle said you weren't even there. Um, the DA even admitted that you were never in possession of a gun, but somehow you were guilty of the person's murder. How this makes any goddamn sense? If there's anybody in the feed who this happens to make sense to, please say something. Hey, Bryce, good to see you. I'm gonna mod you up right now so that nobody fucks with you because my people are assholes. There you go. You should be modded up. Yep, you are now modded up. Um, so for the people who are just joining us, we're talking with Prentiss Banks, and he has been sitting in prison for 33 years
Yeah.
on a crime that he did not commit. He is sitting in there for life without the possibility of parole for a murder that he wasn't even present for. He wasn't there. He had nothing to do with it. He didn't know anything about it until they got stopped by the police and was arrested, and they told him what he was being arrested for. Now, one of the people there, defended him and said, hey, he wasn't even here. Cops didn't care. The DA doesn't care. The cops rode Prentiss's ass until he just made a false confession just to get them off of him so that he could be with the sick mom, who is no longer with us. And they didn't even let him out for her funeral. And he's an
Right.
exemplary prisoner. He is. If you wanted a prisoner, he would be the prisoner you would want to have. That's the kind of good prisoner he is. And I know that sounds fucked up in so many ways. But he doesn't cause no trouble. He doesn't fuck with people. He doesn't, he actually does a lot of youth outreach. He works with a lot of different programs to help younger people in the prison who are struggling with their mental health issues and with thoughts of suicide. He's been a huge help to a lot of people, not just on the inside, but on the outside too. Even for me, when I'm having like a rough time, he's fucking there for me at the drop of the hat. And I'm sure that Nisha can attest to that as well. He is a ray of fucking sunshine, and I don't know how he is. Let's see. I'm trying to take a look at the feed here. So anyway, so the prosecuting attorney, what is her name?
Diane Harris.
Okay, and where was she prosecuting attorney at?
Riverside County.
That's in California, everybody.
Yeah,
So
California.
I've been trying for 6 months to get paperwork from these people, to get videos from these people. I'm coming up empty-handed. They're giving me the runaround every single fucking time. And I do see Trump said in here, and Trump said, I know you. I know how fucking badass you are. Was his conviction linked to a conspiracy? Did you get a charge of conspiracy to commit murder? Or was
Nuh-uh.
yeah, so it's literally fucking murder, but without a gun. They even admitted that he never was in possession of a gun.
It was actually, remember, it was actually two robberies that happened. One, the initial robbery with the robbery that they did, which was on February 11th. I believe it said February 11th, and then the secondary robbery was like after 12 o'clock midnight, somewhere down at 12 o'clock midnight, which was another robbery that happened where nobody died. It was just a robbery that was, I guess they tied two robberies into one that made it a continuous act, which had nothing to do with either or the other. So what they did is they took the robbery from the second situation and made it, the precedent one, and connected it to the robbery of the murder, which the robbery of the murder was never charged as a robbery murder. So they tied two men that made a felony murder.
See, that's just insane to me. And this prosecutor knew, the judge knew, the
Yes.
jury knew you had nothing to do with the murder, yet they found you guilty anyway. Now, I have seen this man's paperwork, and if anybody would like copies of his paperwork, I'm sure he would not mind me sending it to you. I'm happy to send it to you so you can read through it. It will blow your fucking mind.
I don't mind.
Okay. We have a lot of good people. We even have, a few attorneys in our circle of friends, and we have more advocates than you can shake a stick at. And you know what? Even the people I don't like that are in this group of people, I fucking love them. I
That's
really,
right.
I really do. I may not like them very much, but I fucking love them.
Right.
Um, was his? Oh, I already read that one. Let's see. Sixth Estate says free to innocent, and I have no idea what that dagnum essos. I I love you, Trump said. I don't know what the fuck that is. Yes, this was in California, Dawn.
And like you
California.
said, since I've been in here, I've been in. When I came in, I I had a fourth grade reading comprehension. I couldn't read, write, spell my name, but I took the time out to really like take my education serious. So in '94, I graduated. After my graduation, I went into two different colleges. I'm actually in Antelope Valley College studying for my communication. I'm in Utah College studying for leadership and management. And as of last year, I graduated from Open Bible College and Family Radio School to Bible College, and then Universal Church of Christ ordained me as a licensed minister in the state of California.
Which is awesome. When I marry my imaginary best friend, you're gonna do it.
Okay.
I ain't never getting married again. My name's not stupid. My name's not stupid. I ain't involving the government in any more of my life than they're already involved.
Oh my goodness.
So I think a lot of people in the feed they are used to seeing innocent people get fucked over, but it is really hard to grasp and understand what you went through because how the hell can they, there is no logic in this case whatsoever. They just wanted somebody to blame. Now this is just a personal belief here. I believe the reason I'm having so much trouble getting the information I want from down there in California is because they know damn well that if this case gets brought back up, every case that DA ever fucked with is also going to have to be brought back up.
Yeah.
Now, right now, Prentiss has got. You have an appeal going in federal court. What do you got going on in federal court? I can't remember. My brain's
I
not working.
I filed the 1437, which is the new aiding and abetting law that came out, saying that if you wasn't the actual shooter and you was considered to be an aiding and abetter, you can file to get the life without the possibility of parole sentence off you. When I filed the aiding and abetting, I mean the 1437, the judge at that moment denied it on the prima facie stage, saying that he acted as a fact finder, saying that the court of opinion from 1994 states that this is what it is, and I'm gonna find him not suitable, and told me to take it up on appeal. So when I took it up on appeal, they both appeal agreed with me, saying that the judge was out of line for not giving me an evidentiary hearing during the prima facie stage. He should have bound me over for evidentiary hearing and then dealt with it that way. So uh, they they continued to uphold the judge's uh, order of saying that I wasn't entitled to evidentiary hearing at that moment. So I went to the federal courts, and the attorney general is now in agreement with me, saying that yeah, he was in violation, and right now he's still pending. I just got a docket saying that the federal courts has picked it up for review, but it's been sitting there for a minute now.
A long minute, like
Yes.
almost a year, correct, or longer than a year.
Yes, almost a year. It took me 3 years to get on the docket, and then it's almost a year now. Been sitting here.
So I kind of wonder. Was the charge for the felony murder rule of the law?
Back then, it was a questioning on, I don't know, Prop 14 and Prop 15 was coming in around that time. And there was a question if Prop 15 applies to me, which I believe that I fell up under Prop 14, which it fails. I think Prop 15 says you have to prove murder to prove actual, to prove that a person is convicted of murder. But when Prop 15 came in under the felony murder, it made it implied murder. So it's implied that if you go out and do a robbery, it's automatically saying that somebody died, you're held accountable.
Yeah, but again, you weren't even there.
No.
You happened to be in the vehicle with them, running around, acting like fucking stupid little boys, and had no clue what they had been doing.
Yeah.
This is really mind blowing. We got a few people here that are just coming in. Fucking scragglers. I'm gonna have to repeat this like 800 times. I apologize. So, okay. So in 1992, Prentiss was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for a special circumstance murder, namely a murder committed during a robbery. Now, I want you guys to hear me here. He was not there. The people that he was riding with when they got pulled over, they had killed this person earlier in the night before they had even picked up Prentiss. Prentiss didn't even know about it until he was getting put in cuffs. And the cops didn't give a shit. They knew the truth. The prosecutor knew the truth. The judge knew the truth. Hell, the jury even knew the truth. But you know how prosecutors are. They're just like goddamn politicians. They can circle talk you until you're just like, okay, I agree. I want to get the fuck out of here. And they found him guilty of murder for something that he wasn't even there for, let alone did he even know about. So, I mean, they couldn't have even got him with accessory because he was not fucking there. He can't get him for accessory after the fact because he did not fucking know. Can't get him for murder because he was not fucking there. This man has been sitting in prison for 33 years. Well, since 1992, since he was 18 years old. He is now just turned 52 yesterday, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, 52 years old. He has spent the majority of his entire fucking life in prison for something that he did not do. Like I said earlier, if anybody wants the paperwork so that they can read through it themselves, the court paperwork and everything, I'd be happy to send it to you. I think I've got all of it. It will truly blow your mind. Even if I don't have all of it, just what I have will blow your fucking mind because it doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever. Sixth Estate, you are a smartass, you know that? So, Sixth Estate says, spent half my day trying to retire. Shouldn't be this difficult. Geezer problems. Sixth Estate is an elder in our community and a smartass to boot. Spot Check says, God damned. End it all. Oath taking is a fucking abomination. All of this is fiction. The whole system is mental illness. I couldn't agree with you more. That is fucking facts right there. Yes, they hid exculpatory evidence, which is basically evidence that would have exonerated you or proven your innocence. They didn't hide it. They put it out there, but they said, oh, well, you don't need to convict him of having possession of a gun to convict him of murder. And apparently this made sense to the jury, and so they just convicted him. Now, again, I believe that the reason I'm having such a hard time getting paperwork out of California and getting video out of California is because of the fact that, again, if they bring his case back in front of the judge and call bullshit, every case that bitch has ever fucking prosecuted is going to also come into question. And I think every case that judge has ever fucking presided over will probably also come into question. And that is going to cost them a whole lot of money. And so they are doing everything they can to keep shit under wraps. But the thing is, Prentiss has all of his paperwork. He's never lost a fucking single page. So, I think that um, if
You know,
anybody is willing to lend a hand in making phone calls or writing letters or sending emails or filing FOIA requests, feel free to hit me up. You guys know how to reach me. If you don't have my phone number, it's because I fucking hate you. No, I'm kidding.
one of the things that at my sentence, the judge said, even though that he said, even though that there was no intent to kill, um, and it's just a robbery that just went bad. Based on the way it was charged, I have no choice but the way the law is written, it was to give you life without the possibility of parole. So when they was even deliberating or creating the jury instructions, there was no lesser included allowed at that time to even give me a lesser sentence. It was either death or life without the possibility of parole. And it was actually going for death at that moment. And then somehow, some way, the death penalty got taken off the table, and this strictly went for life without the possibility of parole.
Ooh, Spot Check has developed a FOIA AI. He will be releasing it soon-ish. He's one of the smartest dudes I know. I've got like a brain crush on him. You have no idea. It's like my talent crushes. I've got tons of those.
Oh.
I have a new talent crush like every Monday and every Wednesday.
Oh my goodness.
Our last show over on Stay on Beat. I can't remember who it was, but they called me sweetheart or love. They called me love, and I said, "Oh, that's it. We just got married." I have a lot of fun over there. I would really love it if you could join us sometime because I think that the energy of that live feed would do you some good. It would help keep you positive. You've never seen a music review show quite like this. We keep everything positive. Even if the song is really fucking bad, we offer advice on how to make it better, but we don't put the person down for it. You know what I mean? And they still get included into like the hourly drawings. Right now, we're giving away contact lists for stations and for radio stations, and like to get a hold of the music director at radio stations. Like it gives you detailed information. Just to help independent artists get their music out there and get it heard. And most people have quite a bit of success doing it if they stay persistent. I do a lot of radio submissions myself for probably 38 or 40 different artists or groups. And oh, we lost him. We lost him. He's gone. He's gone. He could be doing a head check or something like that, you guys. So, well, Nisha, darling, why don't you tell us how your day was going, or we can read comments in the comment section.
My day is just going. I mean, I worked all day. I'm a mom, so you know how that go. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I have to figure that out. Maybe I just have salad.
I'm back.
You're in Texas. Why haven't you? You need to eat dinner, woman.
I will. I'm gonna eat a really good salad with some quinoa, chickpeas, make some cashew dressing, put some bell peppers in there.
Yeah, you know how to eat salad.
Yeah,
I make my salads so laden with stuff that it's no longer healthy anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, I'm vegan. I have to eat a certain way.
Oh, how you must be itty bitty. I have a big old ass. I mean, like I got a secretary spread on my back end. It is huge. I am totally comfortable with it though.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God, I'm sweating like a orange. And who was it that asked me? Oh, John Densicola, if you want to take me out on a date, you bring your ass up here to Washington and you take me out on a date. You
Okay.
ain't got to win it. I'll go with you.
You better take care of her, John. We'll come after you.
John is one of the nicest people. You know what? I think all my people are fucking amazing people. They really are. They are true freedom fighters. I think just about everybody in this feed, I have watched them get arrested, or we've watched someone else get arrested together and help them deal with the repercussions of that arrest, whether it took just a couple of minutes or it took a couple of years. And so we are all pretty damn close, even when we don't see each other or talk to each other for a long time. These people are
That's
family.
cool.
And I
But come
truly
on, sit
appreciate everybody too for
oh,
taking the time out to hear my story.
for real. You know what? Dude, I fucking love you. I think you're an amazing human being. If the first time I heard your story, it made me fucking cry. I don't. You don't belong in there.
Right.
They have stolen so much of your life from you. It's not even funny. Now, there is a gentleman who goes by James on the land, on the land, on the land, on the land. And I love this crazy fucker. He's one of my favorite. He is batshit crazy. Oh my God. But he is good people. And he served 48 years in prison for a crime he did not commit.
Oh wow.
And him and 12 others were literally tortured into confessing.
Mm.
Like, it was really bad. But the attorney that he had, I don't know if he's licensed to practice in California because he's like in the Midwest. But if he isn't, I know that he's gonna know somebody who is, and I think maybe we might be able to get them to pick the case, if you're willing, and to give another attorney a fucking chance. He'll get you a big fat settlement out of it. I can promise you that. But you know what? He's gonna take a big fat chunk out of it too.
Well,
So
at this point,
deserve
whoever
paid
who
for the years that they have stolen from you.
right, whoever feel like they can take this case and get me home, hey, you have my approval to take it. You know, I'm so
DM.
ready.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no. I was just saying I'm so ready to come home, and if somebody feel that they can, take my case and actually get me home, man, that'll be the greatest blessing ever.
Well, I'm going to DM him right now while we are on this live. James Barcer. If you guys have never heard of James Gibson, please look him up. We did do a show about him on the Police Accountability Report a couple of years ago, right after he was released. And it's just fucked up, dude. It's just fucked up. Oh my God. But he has started this amazing foundation. He's doing all this amazing outreach work and stuff. He's just fabulous and very happy. This man, I don't think I've ever seen him not with a huge grin on his face.
What is his name? You said Skip?
James Gibson.
Okay.
I well, like with my outreach programs that I do with the youth, I try to give them my life experience, you know what I mean, and give them the corrective way of living life and making sound decisions. And I give them my hardships along the way. And like a lot of the people don't realize, like, a lot of the hardships of coming into prison and making the wrong decisions is that when you enter these prison systems, they don't allow you to, if you have a loss in your family member, they don't allow you to go to funerals. If you are sentenced to a certain time frame, they charge you beyond what you can afford to attend a funeral. In my case, I lost both of my grandparents. I lost my father, and in 2019, I lost my mother. And the only way I was able to see my mom was through a video chat, and when she was taking her last breath. So what I teach the youth now is, um, if you're not ready to make that decision to watch your mother pass away through a video chat, or or not being able to leave and go as you please, this is not the place for you.
Mhm.
Because as an 18-year-old kid, I once was there with them. I understood the struggles. I understood the rebelliousness. I understood, like, I want to be independent. But at the end of the day, the people that's actually telling you what they're telling you, they have lived the experience of it already, and
Right.
just trying to guide you in the best way and the corrective way that they could. And they just need you to listen versus,
Right.
you know, just think you know it all, because they could end in my type of situation.
Yeah.
And then they can't come help you anymore. It's all about you fighting now for your own life. And all the people that you consider to be friends, I give them 1 year to walk out of your life.
Mm.
So the only people you're going to have is your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties. And over the years, they're going to get older and older. 3 decades and 3 years I've been in prison. So you can imagine how many losses I've had seen and encountered in my life. And you can't mourn them. You can't cry. You can't do anything because the environment prevents that.
That's just
So it's it's just the most beautiful thing that I have experienced, because it gave me the opportunity to, like, now teach those that have yet to experience it not to experience
Yeah.
it. So it's just I love what
oh,
I do when it's the youth. I love it.
John. I'm actually trying to get the video footage of the interrogation where they basically, they held him for God, I don't even know how long, an ungodly length of time, and basically threatened him and used scare tactics to get him to say what they wanted him to say. And I need that video. I need that video to show, proof that they coerced him. Because honestly, the only thing that they truly have against him is that forced confession. But they already knew he wasn't there. I mean, there again, the prosecutor was just like, you don't need to have a weapons charge to convict him of murder. You can just convict him of fucking murder because I said yes. So, it fucking doesn't make any goddamn sense. Oh my god, why am I so sweaty? This is disgusting. No, it's like dripping off of me. It's fucking nasty.
And how they explained it to me, like when I was younger, like after they sentenced me. Well, when you walk into a liquor store with somebody, and you tell one person, "Hey, still a candy bar," and I'm gonna argue with the teller, and the teller die from natural causes. All they got to do is prove that a candy bar was taken, and if the DA filed felony murder charges, all they got to prove is that a candy bar was taken, and the murder attaches it to the candy bar, and we'll both get death or life without. Is the sentence that I was
There's
sentenced
no
under.
logical sense there. There's none. There's no logical sense. There's no brain power that went into this fucking bullshit at all. They just said, I want this person to be guilty because I don't fucking like the way they look. And so here's a new rule.
And keep in mind, this is the era right before the OJ trial. Not the OJ. Yeah, the Rodney King riots.
Yeah. Yeah. So shit was fucking intense to say the least at the time. Um,
So what are they saying about the tape? They're just denying, like they're just telling you no. What?
But they don't want to turn it over because they know that everything they did was illegal. And they've been, like, recently, there was over 247 cases um, that they actually destroyed all the evidence in Riverside County because they said the storage was filled up. But based on my case was part of that 200 something destroying the evidence and everything was part of that. And based on they know for a fact that I had anything to do with my case should have never been destroyed because I have an ongoing appeal. And if the gun was to ever be called for testing, it's now gone.
Um, I'm being asked in the feed of what is the prosecutor's name once again.
Diane Harris.
And yes, the bitch is still alive.
Yes.
At least she was fucking a few months back when I was doing all my research and stuff, trying to find out where she was at, what she had done afterwards, and um, yeah, there was like a lot of complaints in this county. There was a lot of investigations and stuff into corruption in this county. Um, during those years that she was, DA, I don't know how the fuck she got away with half the shit she's done, but it's not just her, it's the judge too. It's every member of that jury. Um, you got to figure. For this, how many jury members were white?
Pretty much everybody was white. I just had no black jurors.
Okay,
The ones that was there,
can you
they
put that
removed
to
them.
you? Now I know the polite thing to say is yes, but don't be polite. Be real. Do you consider a bunch of white folk down in California your peers?
No,
No, you don't. Especially during the Rodney King era in
it was it
California. Oh
was
God.
it was actually brought up in my case with me. I had asked the judge why, or they're kicking out like a lot of the black jurors and everything. They would say, well, based on I guess uh, the area that they pull juries, they said, well, this is the jury pool area that we can pull from, and it was majority all white. And the ones that they did have was black. They removed them.
So yeah, that had to. I don't care who the fuck you are. That's gonna freak anybody out. I would have been fucking terrified. You see how chalky white? Look at that picture of me right there. Look at how pale I am. And unless you live in my county, you don't know I'm not all white. So I can leave this county and I can get away with some bullshit. But
Right.
that would scare me if all I saw was a bunch of white faces up there in my jury that was going to fucking be in control of my future. It really would, because I know how the majority of white people are. They are still on the thought of mind of not all cops are bad, and their word is, golden, and yours, you're just a criminal. So whatever you say is a lie, even if this person is proven to be a liar, is on the Brady list and shit. They will still believe every word that cop is fucking telling them. It's disgusting and it's horrifying. And the people who think that, the majority of them are white. Now, mind you, the majority of the activists that I work with happen to be white, but they don't think that way.
Wow.
But you can't know how somebody thinks by just looking at them. Well, maybe some people. Oh, not gonna lie, that whole skinhead thing's kind of it's on Front Street. But yeah, that would scare anybody, man. And that was not a jury of your peers. You were robbed from the minute they pulled over that car and refused to listen to you, refused to listen to the evidence, refused to listen to the other people in the vehicle saying, dude wasn't even there.
Nobody even identified me at the scene of the crime of the murder.
See, how crazy is that?
And
So,
they asked
not the
them like,
people he was hanging out with that night, but witnesses to the murder were just like, nope, didn't see that guy there. 18 years old, his life has been stolen from him. And the people who stole it from him have been living on the outside, free as a fucking jaybird. All these fucking years. But honestly, I think that judge and that prosecutor, at bare minimum, should be in prison. And probably not just for this case, but for others as well. What have we got down here going on?
Hold on one quick second.
Sure.
Oh, you can still talk. I just gotta grab my
Okay.
door real quick.
Oh, okay. So we do have some questions. Let me back up a little bit. What department did the investigation and what DA prosecuted the case? I think I already read that one. Yeah, I did. May I ask what federal circuit court is this case in? So where did you file your paperwork? What circuit did you file it in?
Give me 1 second. I gotta grab the paperwork.
No problem. Was all the evidence of his case destroyed in the 250 cases he was talking about? Okay, so the evidence may have been destroyed, but the thing is there was no evidence. There was nothing. There was no fingerprints on the gun. There was no ballistics testing done.
Okay.
There was no what do you call it? When they test for gun residue, they didn't do that on anything or anyone.
I filed it in United States District Court, Central District of California, Los Angeles.
So Ninth Circuit. Sixth Estate, you are not wrong.
Just throw it under the door.
I love it when a white male happens to say things like this.
I'm sorry about
White
that.
people are terrible jurists, in my humble opinion, he says. And I agree, they really are. They like, I swear to God, I have been on a jury where these people they just wanted to convict somebody of something and make them suffer. And the crazy thing about that case was the fact that the young man who was on trial, he didn't do anything wrong. And his sister stood up and was like, my brother didn't beat that woman's ass, I beat her right there in court. And these motherfuckers still wanted to find him guilty. And I'm like, but you can't. Because the person who did it admitted to doing it. The fucking victim isn't even here in court. She didn't even care enough to show up. And the bruises that we saw in the photographs that were taken in the van or in the med card, they were old as fuck. They were turning green. That's how old they were. So they weren't from that night. So, but these people they wanted to just convict somebody. That was the only reason. Like, they were excited to be there. Most people when they go to jury duty, they're like, God, let me get the fuck out of here. I don't want to do this. These people were happy to be there. And it's really fucking weird. Really weird.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, one of the things, like, my appellate attorney, right, had filed when I was going through the appellate course, was the introduction of what she said in the case was, in 1991, when he was 18 years old, appellate was convicted of first-degree felony murder with special circumstances to the murder as committed during the commission of a robbery. Although the victim was killed by gunshot, the jury never did find true that Pellet personally used the firearm during the commission of the felony murder. None of the witnesses identified the Pellet as the shooter. However, admitted to being the shooter, the officer shortly after he was arrested. Then recanted his admission in his trial testimony. Appellate filed for resentencing in the trial court. The trial court declined to issue an order to show cause and dismissed the petition at the prima facie stage, indicating that circumstantial evidence establishes that the Pellet was the killer. In addition, the trial court read the court of opinion in the Pellet original appeal into the record and untimely that it became the court of appeal found that the failure to instruct on aiding and abetting was an theory for felony murder liability was harmless error. The trial court could not now claim that he was not the killer. And that's what they had put in the record.
See, that's just the same. That's just the same. Absolutely the same thing. So, let's see. Do we have more questions down here? Oh, his name. I will type it into the chat. His name is Prentiss Banks. And actually, if you type in Prentiss Banks, California court case, it will pop up information like first page. There you go. Any other questions? Okay, so as far as the DA, the prosecuting attorney, when I was looking for her about 6 months ago, she was. Oh, sorry. Hang on. This is James. Hello. Not much. I was actually hoping to get the name and number to the attorney who helped you with your case. I have a case out in California. If he can't practice there, hopefully he knows somebody who can. I have a gentleman who it was like proven that he wasn't even there when somebody died, and because he was in a vehicle with the people who did it after the fact, and mind you, he didn't know anything about it. They still managed to hit him with a murder charge and convict him with a murder charge, and he's been sitting for 33 years. And like, we have paperwork and proof that they know he didn't do it.
So he's in California?
Yeah, he's in California.
Have you contacted California Innocence Project down there, or anybody down there? You got any connection down there?
I don't
They don't
have
deal with cases.
Innocence Project down there at all.
I do. I got a connection with Innocence Project in California. I got a couple of Innocent brothers. They got down there in California. It's a network. While I'm on my way to Detroit.
Oh, you are? What are you doing there?
I'm going to be Larry Smith. He just settled for $12 million.
Wow.
He's going to give his mother $1 million. I'm Elias Bernstein now. And then we got a concert Sunday downtown Detroit, where we're going to be talking about prison issues and stuff like that with the mayor. And then we're going to have a concert. We're going to put on a concert in the middle of downtown Sunday. This Sunday coming up.
That's awesome. Are you going to go live during the concert?
Yeah, I'm going to go live in Detroit.
Awesome. I will turn my notifications on for that shit.
Go live in Detroit. Where you at again? What part of the city? You in the city?
No, I'm in Washington. I'm in Washington State. And Taya is in Baltimore.
Okay, you're in Washington State. You're going to be coming to Washington State next year for the convention.
Well, you better get a hold of me when you do so that I can come visit.
And we've been going to have Seattle, Washington.
That's only like 3 hours away from me. That's a short drive.
Next year.
Well,
Just more things next year. Last year we was in Arizona. So now we're going to Boston.
that is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm excited to see you too. Man.
Well, do you know what I do, the type of work that I do?
Of course I do, my darling. Honey, I've been keeping an eye on you. I have been keeping an eye on you. I dropped some comments in your comment sections here and there, and
Thank you for those comments. Thank you for such comments.
But yes, the advocacy work that you're doing, and I know that you were working on some music stuff for quite some time now. Ever since you got out, actually, I think you that first song that you wrote for your mom.
Yeah, Mama, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let's go to spots playing across the world now.
That is amazing. I am so happy for you.
Tremendous foundation, Clarence James Foundation. Yeah. I'm finna drop more. I bought my own soundtrack because I got a movie deal and a book deal, so I bought my own soundtrack, all dedicated to my mom, country, rhythm, and blues. So that's what the music stuff is about. I'm not an artist, man. I don't do no singing and dancing, and all the music is about my mom.
I know.
Amazing.
And our relationship.
It is absolutely amazing. She stood by you fucking through it all. And God rest her.
What I'm in the middle, like I said, I'm in the middle of traffic. I'm headed to Detroit.
Okay.
But I got a lot of contacts in California and actually in every state. The work that I do and the network that I build, and the lawyers that I have a firm with, and the partnership that I'm developing.
Yeah.
But right now, like I said, I'm in the middle of traveling.
Yeah. You get to where you're going, and this man has been sitting in prison for 33 years. It's okay if you take a little bit to get back to me with the contact info, but please give anybody my cell phone number who can possibly just even take a look at this case and offer any kind of support or any kind of direction even.
But what is this? I got about 5 minutes. What is it that you know about the case?
Okay, well, what I know is...
Talk about you been locked up 34 years. How did you come across the case?
I actually came across Prentiss on Instagram, and I found this gentleman who had a petition on getting his case back before the courts. And then I contacted Prentiss, and he gave me his paperwork. I have most of his paperwork and stuff from the courts. And I mean, they even admit that, like, he never had a possession of a gun, and the witnesses that were there when it happened said, that Prentiss wasn't there. He wasn't one of the people who was there. There's no evidence against him other than when the police coerced him and basically tortured him into confessing to something that he did when he was 18 years old, and he was scared out of his mind. He'd never been in trouble before a day in his life. And they told him that he would be able to go home and be with his sick mom if he would just, confess to doing this. And so he did. But they never did any ballistic testing. They never did tested him for gunpowder residue. The witnesses say that he wasn't there. The people who were actually there and involved in it, one of them was just like, this dude was not here. He has nothing to do with it. But they completely ignored that. And then when it came down to them charging or them finding him guilty for murder, the prosecuting attorney had to sit down with the jurors and explain to them in some weird-ass convoluted way on how basically he doesn't have to be guilty of possession of a gun to be guilty of the murder because of the way that the laws were then. But again, he wasn't even present for it at all. He wasn't even an accessory after the fact. He didn't know until he was getting cuffed and stuffed what the fuck was going on. California. Oh, so right now, hang on just a second. Prentiss, can you hear me? What was the paperwork filed?
Which one in the federal?
Yeah.
Or Riverside County?
The paperwork in federal.
It's the United States District Court, Central District of California.
Okay. What was the paperwork that you filed though? What was it called?
Oh, the 1437. I filed under the 14.
Filed a 1437 in federal court, and it's been just sitting there for like a year now or longer, a year and a half. They've granted the review of the case, but again, it's been a year and a half or longer, and it's still sitting there. He hasn't actually been in front of the judge or anything else, and he's not getting any response from them. Well, they found him guilty, 33 years ago, but this new filing is still pending. Yeah.
California really knows how to staff. So we got to get the staff involved. So we spoke in the United States to report. So it gets kind of tricky, you know. When you get a chance to send me, you say you got his file, right?
Yeah, I've got copies of his files. I can send them to you.
I get 7.
Okay.
We can follow up. I'll follow up with you.
Okay, sounds good.
That I can connect to some people that's in California.
Thank you very much for your help, and you have a safe trip.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow on your live feed.
Yeah. I probably gonna go live till like Sunday though, because I'm gonna have a concert and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And performance and stuff like that.
Okay, well then I will see you Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we got you some help there.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear what he had said about why he was going to Detroit?
Yes, and that's
Okay, yeah.
beautiful. I liked how he wrote the music for his mom. That I was sitting over here, got emotional.
He is
Man,
a wonderful man. He is just he's a lot like you. He is like I would be so angry and bitter at the world. Oh my god. I'd just be like, look at me sideways. I dare you. I'll murder you for it.
you know,
I'm here for it anyway.
yeah. Well, I try not to get bitter. I just look at it as, I was set down by God to be a better person, to find me to be a better person, and I'm grateful that I was set down, because I wouldn't be the man talking to you today.
Well, I am grateful too, because maybe it did save you from a worse fate. Maybe
Yes.
because of you being where you're at, it saves someone else from a worse fate. But it still doesn't make what happened to you right.
Right.
Nisha, is there any questions or any info that you think we didn't touch on that we should mention about his case or about his life or his situation?
Oh, well, Prince, did you mention your don't you have like a petition or something?
Yes. She mentioned it in there, but if anybody wanna, I have on Instagram, under Prentiss Banks Instagram. There's a petition that's you can digitally sign in regards to my case. My actual case is right there. You can read, and you're more than
Okay.
welcome to follow with that. Even on Facebook, there's a Prentiss Banks there. My petition is there as well, in my bio link in both pages.
I am posting your link to Instagram in the live feed so that people can follow you and people can get access to that link easily. Copy profile. There we go. I found it. There it is. Well, Bryce, you Speedy Gonzalez, fuck you. I'm glad that you found it way before me. You are blue that can post it in the chat.
You're hilarious.
Oh, I love my people so much.
Oh my goodness.
It's quick. You got to it way faster than I did, and I have you like right there at the top of my list of people on there. Ridiculous. I'm slow. But yeah, please, everybody, if you could go and sign that petition. I mean, we all know how far petitions get you, right? But it is a matter of public record that it is being done, and that has some weight and some merit to it. So if you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it. Thank you. I love you. You dirty scoundrels, you. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all we got then, as far as Prentiss's case is going right now. I will have him back on to discuss further, probably with somebody from the Innocence Project. And yeah, Nisi, it was really nice to meet you. I hope, or Nisha, I hope that you. I hope that we get to know each other and become friends, because any friend of Prentiss's is a friend of mine, and I'm here.
Oh, oh.
Where can I find you on social media?
I'll make sure I send you the link.
Cool.
That way she.
Yeah, and I finally went ahead and got myself my own. I made a new fucking Instagram account with my own name on it instead of using my girlfriend's backup account, because I'm.
Oh, you got to send me that one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just keep thinking I'm gonna get my old account back, but I know I'm not. I go and look at it all the time. I look at my videos on there that got like 70,000 views, and I'm just like, I miss you. I don't know why. Am I that big of an attention whore? Apparently, I had no idea.
Oh.
Did you get hacked or something?
I got hacked. I certainly did. I got hacked bigger than shit. And then I had there's like 100 emails between me and the hacker, fucking fighting and arguing with each other. And then I made it to where literally he can't get into it, I can't get into it, and nobody can get into it. And surprise, they will boot you off of Instagram using an AI bot, but will they use an AI bot to help you get your account back? Fucking no. They don't give a fuck. But yeah, so Bryce says, all right, y'all, keep your head up, Prentiss. I'll put this out on my Twitter. Thank you so much, dude. That's awesome. The system won't fuck itself. Fuck the system. That is right. That is right. Let's see, what else do we have here? Write your representatives to free this man. Fucking thank you, Sixth Estate. You are a fucking badass, and I love you. Yeah, so that's all we have for today, guys. I love ya, and I will see you later. Oh, there is no par tonight, if you didn't notice. That's why I'm not there. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Your voice is so cute. I love